quickly, should we go to Obamacare? Let's go Obamacare now.
Yes.
And let me get the...
okay.
You start on Obamacare. And
okay.
Matt, will you turn that here? Okay.
So Obamacare in 2009, this is another historic event. In this case, we have big government involvement in the healthcare business. Let's focus first of all on Gerald Paulus, who's a Democrat from Colorado, very wealthy. He is a big supporter of Obama's health care plan. He does something that I think is pretty cynical. He is supporting it. He's on the Powerful Rules Committee, and he's on the Committee on Education and Labor, where this bill passes through. As that bill passes through his committee, he buys between $7 and $35 million into a company called Bridge Health International. What is Bridge Health International? This is what's called a medical tourism company. And by that, we mean this is a company that if you want to get a surgery done in Costa Rica...
You've got to be kidding.
No. And they were all perceived as big winners in Obamacare. The medical tourism industry loved Obamacare. So talk about a cynical play. He's pushing the Obamacare legislation.
That will drive Americans out of this country to go get better health care elsewhere.
And he's ready to profit. He's ready to profit at it. Another gentleman, I brought up the name before, but this would be John Kerry. John Kerry is actively and aggressively buying and selling health care stocks during the 2009 Obamacare legislation, and he literally ends up netting millions of dollars in capital gains. So he's writing legislation, pushing it, and making sure that he profits from it. Senator Carper, who sits on the same committee, he was, according to Tom Daschle in the Obama White House, the point man of Obamacare. He's trading health care stocks at the same time he's pushing it through the United States Senate. And then we have John Boehner, who is now Speaker of the House. At the time, he was leading the opposition to Obamacare. He was opposed to the public option, which in my mind was the right position to take.
Yeah.
The problem is 3 days before it was publicly announced that the public option was dead, he bought stock in 5 different health insurance companies. And of course, these companies wanted to see Obamacare die, and their stock prices went up when the news became public. So you literally see these individuals doing this. There's nothing illegal with it, and there's nothing unethical about it, at least by the standards of the Senate and House.
There are no standards in the Senate and House.
There are. In the Senate Ethics Manual, there are 6 paragraphs on the improper use of Senate stationery. There's not one mention of insider trading. In the Senate Ethics Manual, there are 6 paragraphs on the improper use of Senate stationery. There's not one mention of insider trading. Of the candidates lead a charge against this? Well, some of the presidential candidates have talked about it. Rick Perry has talked about it and condemned it. He actually had a great spot on it. I think he believes that. Do you think he believes that? I think he does. Okay, who else? That's been about it. Wow. Yeah, that's been about it. Now, people condemn it, but in terms of really taking action and holding these people accountable... Any of this stuff changes? No, I don't think so. Unless the American people continue to rise up and demonstrate their anger. There's something called the Stock Act that would make insider trading illegal among congressmen. It had 6 co-sponsors before my book came out. It now has 147. So, and that's really because the anger of the American people in hearing about this. But there are problems with the Stock Act, namely that I don't think it will be enforced by the Securities and Exchange Commission because they're too scared of Congress. But there are... This is crazy. There are responses that we can take. How can we fix our country with this going on? We can't. We can't. We can't. And you know, Glenn, if we can't fix this... You can't fix anything. How can we fix anything? You can't fix Social Security. You can't fix it. Because this requires honorable men and women. Right. This requires people to say, you know what, this isn't right. Yes. I know everybody else is doing it, but this isn't right. Yes, that's exactly right. That takes moral fortitude or intestinal fortitude of Washington or Lincoln proportion, and these guys aren't capable of this. Yeah, you know, Thomas Jefferson said in 1807 when he left public life, I have the honor of leaving with my hands as clean as empty as when I entered. I'm not sure there are many people in Washington that can say that today. No.